Sergey Crusher Kovalev stops Anthony, the beast from the East Yarde, in the 11th round in a very exciting contest. Now, we might have a lot of things to say about this fight. We might have a lot of things to say about Anthony Yarde, about his trainer, Tunde Ajayi, about Kovalev. There are many opinions flying by. But here's a lesson that we all need to learn about boxing. There are no shortcuts. I repeat myself, there are no shortcuts in boxing. You can't jump the line. You can't jump the queue. You can't jump from point A to point Z. Boxing, the sweet science, is a sport. It's an art of levels. It's an art of stages. You can't jump from having little or no amateur experience, having little or no pro experience, fighting bombs. You can't jump from that to fighting a Hall of Famer. No, you can't. And if you do, and you become lucky, and you defeat that Hall of Famer, what are you going to do when you need to step into the ring again? What are you going to do when you step into the ring with Bivol? What are you going to do when you step into the ring with Bidobev? What are you going to do when you step into the ring with Vosdik? You can't jump the line. Yarde and his team and his Lions in the camp team try to jump the line. They try to avoid going through the process, the important process in boxing. They avoided domestic prospects. They avoided Jose Burton. They avoided Anthony Yarde. They avoided Joshua Buatsi. They avoided facing decent level British fighters. They avoided facing decent level American, other non-British fighters, and they wanted to jump straight to Kovalev. They wanted to rob the bank. They wanted to cash a check without having money in their account. They didn't have any money in their account. They hadn't saved any money. But they issued a check that they expected would be cashed. If you don't save money in your account, if you don't deposit money in your account, then your check will bounce. And that's what happened to Yarde. His check bounced. And I don't blame Yarde. I don't have anything negative to say about him. But the people around him, his trainer, Tunde Ajayi, the man who has been gassing him up all this while, the man who has been talking so much BS, a man who Yarde has admitted doesn't even have any experience. So Yarde is a light heavyweight with no amateur experience, with no pro experience, being trained by a coach with no experience. And you want to defeat WBO light heavyweight champion of the world. You want to jump the line. That is a lesson we should all learn, people. You can't jump the line. You can't jump the queue. Trust the process. Respect the process. Step up gradually. Step up from A to B to C to D to E to F to J to K. Just keep stepping up. Don't jump the line. Don't expect to become a superstar overnight. That's not how life works. I'm not going to go into details talking about the flaws in Yarde's game, but one thing is clear. If he had good coaches, if there was any good or decent level coach in Yarde's team, they will never allow him to be fighting at range with Kovalev. They will never allow that. There hasn't been a light heavyweight in current boxing that has been able to win a range fight with Kovalev. There hasn't been one, including the almighty Andre Ward. No. Andre Ward had to get on the inside of Kovalev to be able to cause him trouble. And he had spent 1 to 6 rounds on the outside trying to box with Kovalev, trying to counter Kovalev. Whoever told him to do that needs to go back to the training school. You can't win a range contest with Kovalev. And the moment Yarde began to step inside with his high guard and body shot, you could see the difference in the countenance of Kovalev. Things changed. His countenance changed. The fights changed. The direction the fight was going to change. Before then, Kovalev was winning all the rounds. But the moment Yarde put his telephones on both ears and began to walk Kovalev down with body punches, you saw the difference. But that came a little too late. And at the end of that round, he had blown his gas tank. He was out on his feet and became an easy tee-off target for Kovalev. I have to say, Yarde took a serious beating in this fight. He got beat up really badly. He took so much shots to the head that were not necessary. I feel like this fight could have been stopped earlier. This fight could have been stopped in the 10th round, but it was allowed to linger. Where does Yarde go from here? Go back to the drawing board. I heard shockingly from commentators that Yarde doesn't spar for fights. How do you simulate a fight if you don't spar? How? Doesn't spar for fights. He needs to go back to the drawing board. He needs to learn the fundamentals of boxing. Like keep your hands up. He needs to go back to the fundamentals of boxing. Once he has mastered all those, and once he has practiced all those and implemented all those, then you can begin to add the shoulder roll and all these slick combinations you keep throwing while screaming loud in the camp. It's a very important lesson for a young fighter like Yarde. Well, it's frustrating more because he could have defeated Kovalev with the limited skill sets he had. And I'm talking of Yarde, with the limited skill sets that Anthony Yarde has. He could have defeated Kovalev only if he had a good strategic trainer behind him. That's the only way he could have. If he just focused on the body, when he got Kovalev hurt in the 8th round, if he had focused on the body and applied more punches to the body the way Andre Ward did, he could have gotten Kovalev out of there. He could have. The fight could have been over in the 8th round after losing the first 7 rounds. The fight could have been over. But no. He didn't focus on the body. And we all know Kovalev doesn't like body punches. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Like I said,